Hey everyone, this is Kelvin. I'm talking to Trey Roberts of Mouth for War. How are you doing, Trey?
I'm great. How are you doing today?
Good. Yeah, good. It's my day off, so I get to do this. Normally I
Sweet.
work, yeah, like 8 to 5, and it's getting darker now, so yeah, I don't have a whole lot of time to do this, but I'm glad to talk to you.
Nice.
Um, yeah, and every people don't know Mouth for War have a new album, Bleed Yourself, that will be out October 27th. So hope everyone checks it out. I got a chance to listen to it, and man, I was just blown away. Just makes me want to like flip over the table and like just break my like break everything. I don't know, dude. It's just such a heavy record.
That's the
Um,
goal.
yeah. Well, if people aren't familiar, can you just kind of like introduce yourself and kind of like how you started Mouth for War and your role in Mouth for War?
I'm Trey. I do vocals in Mouth 4, but I'm the primary writer as well. So I do most of the writing. Um, we've been a band for about 4 years now. A lot of us were in two other bands that kind of came together at the time. I moved out here from Indiana. Actually, I'd done a lot of touring in a band called Bruise, and we played out here in Colorado 4 or 5 times. I think the last time we were here, we were like, we should just move here because this place is perfect. So we relocated out here. I had already been writing music that was going to be Mouth 4 at the time. So um, I had a game plan set in my head for months while I was in Indiana waiting to move. I had guys out here that were ready to just hop on the instruments and learn my songs. So that was kind of kicked off stuff fast for us. And I feel like we've been lucky to do a lot of cool things in the past 4 years, uh, thanks to just being on our shit and trying to stay ahead at all times.
Yeah, and you guys have an album coming out, Bleed Yourself. And then you guys put out I have your first album, the
Yeah.
Life Cast in Glass. So yeah, I was familiar. And then yeah, the new album coming out. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to just having like the actual like CD and record. Um, so when you started the band, like I mean, I guess the most obvious question you probably get is the name of the band. Yeah, like uh, was this kind of like a reference to Pantera, or is this kind of like just reference to something else?
I've always I've grown up on Pantera and just like classic metal and stuff like that. So I think the thing is more that when I did start this band, there was a little more ideals of that kind of sound. We kind of grew into something a lot different. I still feel like the name fits, but it in a way makes less sense now for sure. But yeah, it was a little nod to Pantera at the time. We've kind of grown more away from it, but it's still stuck. So
Yeah. Just a side question. I know with like Pantera's got a new lineup. Have you got a chance to see it, or any thoughts in general about the new Pantera lineup?
I definitely think it's kind of weird that they're doing it at all, but my drummer went and saw them and said it was pretty insane, but I haven't got the chance to do it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just seems like it's kind of like just like a live, like I don't know, like a live thing. I don't haven't seen anything about them making new music, but yeah, it's cool. I saw them in Phoenix with Metallica, so I never saw them
Oh, that
live.
sounds
I was too young to see them like with the original lineup, but yeah, it's cool as a live thing. But if they're gonna make new music, I don't know. It'd be kind of I might be a little hesitant to back that if they're gonna make new music under the name Pantera.
Yeah, I agree. I don't imagine they're going to do that, but yeah, I would definitely be very put off by that.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, as far as like you mentioned like the Pantera, but what were some other like big influences for Mouth 4?
um, definitely bands like Lamb of God is probably a number one influence overall how we like to write and execute things, and then not only that, just my vocal style a lot. I take after Randy Blythe in the way that he like uses over pronunciation and a lot of his stuff. And then we like to mix those kind of classic metal sounds with like modern metalcore bands like The Devil Wears Prada for sure. It's been a band that has always made me love metalcore since I was super young. And uh I think in this newest album we took a lot of Chimera influence as well, kind of like that mid 2000s like fast metalcore. I think that was the biggest new element in our stuff is probably Chimera and Meshuggah for the new album was something that we tried to bring in as far as new elements.
That's badass. I love Chimera. That's kind of like when, I mean, yeah, I guess to date myself, yeah, I was like in high school when Chimera was like, after their second album, Impossibility of Reason, yeah, and then I think I just started college when the album that came out after that, the self-titled Chimera album. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Chimera. Yeah, that whole like mid 2000s like metalcore, I was definitely like a like a big yeah, I was really into that. That's kind of where I started getting more like into extreme music and
Mhm.
like yeah, I was definitely like a Metallica, like Megadeth, um like Pantera fan like in high school, but then I think kind of like once I started here, I think it was like the Freddy versus Jason movie soundtrack. It's like when I first started hearing like Lamb of God and like Killswitch Engage and like all those like um mid 2000s metalcore bands. But yeah, it's slowly coming back. I noticed there's one band I really like now, Dying Wish. They really remind me of
Oh yeah,
that time. Yeah.
for sure. They're spot on with it. There's a lot of bands doing that stuff now, and it's just I love it because that's the coolest kind of metalcore to me. They've got the scary mosh breakdowns, but they just do all sorts of like metal stuff too, which I think is just cool.
Yeah, no, I dig it. And yeah, I could definitely, now that you mentioned Chimera, I could definitely kind of hear that now listening to the album, Mouth for War album. Um
Hell yeah.
you know, I read you guys are kind of based out of like Colorado Springs, you know, and as a listener, I've always associated Colorado with like more like death metal and like black metal, but not a whole lot of like, you know, bands like your style, like kind of like the more hardcore style.
Mhm.
Um, are there like or what other bands are in Colorado that kind of play your style of music?
Um, I would say it is kind of a small amount of bands that are actually trying to do the metalcore thing, or even bands that are not doing the same kind of metalcore as us. But there are a few really solid bands. Fox Lake is popping off right now. They've got like more of a new metal and like a rap metal thing going on, but they're really good at what they do. Good friends of ours. But there's a band called Moral Law from out here. It's a cool vegan straight edge band that I think people should check out. Just a bunch of angry little dudes just yelling about being vegan, and they're all the best guys ever. So, and then let's see, there's a newer band out here called Backlip that are good friends of mine that I think are really popping up right now. But yeah, you're right. There's definitely a heavy death metal scene, even if there's not that many death metal bands left out here right now. That's just what the people want to hear. I mean, a couple of us play in a death metal band called Ten of the Chest, and this is our favorite place to play for sure. Colorado Springs and Denver loves that grimy caveman music. So
Yeah, I'm in like the Four Corners part of Arizona, and yeah, I've been through Colorado a couple times. But yeah, I've no, I'm definitely a supporter of all the like four corner bands, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah. Um, and you guys just formed, you said in like 2019, and yeah, I mean, to me, yeah, that's not too long ago. Like after you guys put out your like first album, like like what were some like I guess opportunities, or was there like a tour, or was there just like networking that kind of got you guys like on like this next level with your new album, like with the label, I guess in regards to?
yeah, Yeah, there were a few things that really bumped us up early that we're super grateful, especially we do have to remind ourselves that it's only been 4 years. Sometimes we're like super lucky and proud to have been on some of the cool stuff we've done. I think the biggest thing, our very first EP and Ear Kept to the Ground, we had it all together already, and our drummer met Scott Lee, which runs 1126 Records. He's a big manager for a lot of cool bands that we like at So What Fest, I think. And he gave him his number for some reason. Me and Mason were hanging out. He's like, I'm gonna send this guy our EP just cause I don't know. He seemed like a cool guy. Scott called us immediately. He's like, yeah, look, I'm write up a contract right now. What do you guys want to do? This shit is awesome. Like we were like, oh, this is crazy. We've only played like 2 shows or something, and this guy wants to sign us. And Scott's really good at his job, so um, we put out that EP on our own, and then he put out Life Cast and Glass and had us all ready to go. And right off of course, if the pandemic hadn't happened, there's a lot of things that could have happened in there, but straight off of that, the pandemic dying down, Scott got us on the tour with Body Snatcher, Boundaries, and Left to Suffer, and that was about 45 days or so. And I think that was the biggest booster for us for sure. We had to put out Life Cast and Glass when no one was touring at all, so we sat on it for a solid few months, and that's always kind of scary. But as soon as it was time, that Body Sensor tour was kind of like the first big cool tour back from COVID that everybody was like, "Holy shit, this is awesome!" So we were super lucky to get put on that and go play numerous sold out shows right off the bat with our new album. And yeah, that was a big booster for us. Thanks to Scott and thanks to Body Snatcher, of course. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah, I like them. I'm wearing a Body Center shirt right now too.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
some of
them
the
last
coolest
year. Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
They're
they're
really
amazing
really
live.
sick. Yeah, yeah, it's super heavy, like just like just super heavy, like down tune breakdowns. I love that style.
Mhm.
Um, and then for this new album, um, I guess what was like or I guess when did you guys start writing it? Was it just something you guys was it just songs from your previous album that you guys worked on, or was it just kind of like something new or start songs from scratch?
I kind of after Life Casting Glass, I kind of took time off to purposely not write Mouth of War and try to clear my mind a little bit. So yeah, we did wait just a little bit, and then way before we even really knew what our plan was as far as a new record or if it was going to be an EP, I just started writing just to write. And that's how some of the tracks on the record, The Devil and Saturate Me, were kind of right in the middle of the album, were some of the first tracks I wrote. At the time, we thought it was going to be an EP or something, but that was before we met everybody at Monarch and got hooked up with the new label. So it just grew into something that it ended up working out really well. I had a handful of songs already laid down that we were just like, this is what we're working on. I don't know what we're doing. So when they were said, okay, it's time to make a full length, I just really stepped on it, and it kind of all came together very naturally. I think I'm super excited to get it out.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, like I said, I really dig it. Um, like so for this the new label and new album, has it allowed you guys to kind of focus like on music as a career, or do you guys kind of still like work at like where you guys are at now?
Um, it's at least in the sites. That's the goal. Everybody in our band, we put in our time on the road trying to do what we can to get the word about this band. But for now we're at the lower stage where we really gotta put in that work. So everybody in this band wants this to be our career one day, and we're completely here to put our asses on the road and get out there and let everybody see us. But for now, we're some restaurant construction boys. Everybody but me, honestly. I'm the last one that should be talking because I just do recording stuff. That's where I'm at right now in the studio. But yeah, we're all gonna put in the work over the next year to hopefully this can be our main gig.
Yeah, like so. I mean, you mentioned since you guys are still new and kind of working your way up, like as far as like touring life goes, like um, I always like read about like how venues, take, merch cuts and I don't know, like what's your what's Mouth Four's like experience so far with like being a touring band?
Um, I think at least right now specifically is a very good time to be touring. People are super appreciative of music. People don't care how much your shirts cost. They just want to make sure you're staying out. Um, we've been pretty lucky with the merch cut crap because a lot of times they don't talk about this, like people don't talk about this publicly, but you just get a good merch guy that's good at lying or good at talking to people. Usually you can figure it out. And unless you're going in the venue and making $10,000, and they watch how much you're making. A lot of times it's not that deep. If we're at the bottom of a 4 band package, and top guys selling this much, and it kind of just trickles down. We're at the bottom. They're gonna ask, how much did you make? Like this. And a lot of times they'll just be like, you're good. We're not gonna take money from you guys. But we've been super lucky to be on tour with like good TMs that I'll see on the itinerary. It's like this merch cut, and I'm like, oh damn it, I'm not gonna do that. And then 10 minutes later, they're like, you're good, get out of here. And we're like, oh, what did you even say to them? But yeah, we've had good luck with that, and we really love being on the road. Some people make it way more stressful than it need to be, but I think everybody in Mouth War really likes just being together and hanging out, and all of us like the redundancy, I guess, of touring and like showing up every day and knowing exactly what has to go down every day. It kind of works for us. So we've had great touring experiences so far in Mouth War.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm out here in like Arizona and the Four Corners area, but I seen you guys play shows in Albuquerque. I haven't got a chance to see you guys play yet, but I guess is there like a part of the country that that you guys kind of get a bigger response or a bigger like reception? I don't know.
Always, of course, at home. Just like anybody, this is our favorite place to play. It's half the reason we end up living here. There's a few other places we really like playing. I guess Indiana, because our drummer actually currently lives there. He's the only one that doesn't live in Colorado, but that's also a home for me. So it's kind of a place that we can be excited about going now because it feels like another hometown. We try to stop there a lot and just keep our friends and family and try to build a really solid base in Indianapolis, where a lot of times we have to stop and pick up our drummer. So we might as well play a cool show here. um, Louisville, Kentucky is a very cool place for us too. We've done LDB there. The old Spinelli set closed down. Um, yeah, those are a couple of our best spots, I'd say.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I really can't. I really would like to see you guys like play live. I mean, just like how heavy and how aggressive the music sounds just on like a CD. Just I would love to check it out live.
Hell yeah. Hopefully we'll be out that way. I'd imagine we'll be out that way again quite soon.
Yeah. With the new album coming out, are you guys like have you guys announced any like upcoming like tours to support the new album?
Nothing announced yet. Just a lot of sticks in the fire, really. Just waiting on confirmations, but we definitely know that we should be expected everywhere next year. We're going to be putting in the time. So we'll be out there playing, I'd imagine, every state by the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be sweet. Hopefully, somewhere around here I can check out. I live pretty far from like Phoenix, about 5 hours, but Albuquerque is just like a 2 hour drive for me, so I don't mind making that
Oh, nice.
drive.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a pretty common place for us because being from Colorado, everything is so far away, and Albuquerque is, I think, the closest major market actually. So we end up there a lot.
okay, yeah, cool. Um, but and then I guess this is just kind of like a out there question, but um, if you could put together like a tour, like what kind of bands would you say you would want to like play with or play alongside with?
That's a good one. There's a lot of cool bands that we'd love to tour with. If we were talking about a tour that I think would just be a monster of a tour that would have a bunch of fitting bands, I could see something like Kubla Khan, maybe Dying Wish, Boundaries, and us would be cool. But we've been hoping for a chance to just get out with Boundaries because they're really good friends of ours. Um, Foreign Hands would also be a band that we would absolutely love to tour with. orthodox, chamber. That there's lots of just any mix up of all those, man. There's so many cool bands doing stuff right now.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see Mouth Four with like some like death metal bands that have that like hardcore like influence, like Dying Fetus or like
I,
Gate Creeper.
yeah,
That'd be really sick.
spot on. I think somebody 10 minutes ago just joked about Dying Fetus offering us a tour. So if they're listening to this, take us out, Dying Fetus.
Yeah, oh yeah, I do. I like especially like all those like moshing like breakdowns. Like I think like Dying Fetus really takes a lot of influence from like the hardcore style and like metalcore style.
Oh yeah, yeah. We love that's what we love about that band.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, like I was, I'm just telling everyone who's listening, just yeah, check out the album Bleed Yourself. Preferably like pick up the record. You guys got some like sweet looking like records that you guys have available.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, everything's online. We got think three variants. You can our Bandcamp and then Monarch's website and then our website. You can get three different vinyl variants, and then there's CDs to be snagged up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just like I'm saying, yeah, for sure. People should check it out because I feel like it's gonna be something that people will look back on and will like, really appreciate like just as time goes on, just how heavy the record is.
Hell yeah, love to hear it.
All right. Well, that's kind of it for me for my questions, Trey. I'll go ahead and let you go. But thanks for again for talking with me.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, man.
All right, no problem.